What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Accepting All Trades. In this one, as voted on by you guys, we will be using the 2014-2015 Los Angeles Kings. The reason I had them up there in the vote as an option is because in the previous year, the 13-14 season, they won the Stanley Cup, and then the following year, they failed to make the playoffs. They missed out by 2 points, finishing off with a 40, 27, and 15 record, good for 95 points, but not good enough to make the playoffs. So what we're going to try to do today is use the 2014-15 Kings in NHL 15 and try and rewrite history so that we can at least help them make the playoffs and perhaps solidify them instead of the Chicago Blackhawks, who actually won the cup in 14-15, as a modern day dynasty. Before we jump in though, I need to hear your guys' thoughts. Do you think we're going to rewrite history and make the playoffs? Do you think we're going to blow up history and win the Stanley Cup? Or do you think we're going to repeat history and miss the playoffs? Let me know in the poll above. So jumping into our trade block here, I'm going to put up the best defenseman, the best forward, and then I usually would put our best goalie, but we got Quick and we got Martin Jones. Don't think we want to trade away one of those guys. So I'll just put up another one of our young prospects, our best young prospect, Tyler Toffoli. Surplus is we're willing to give away anything and everything, but what we want in return, I'm going to keep a little bit more conservative. Younger than 35 years of age, at least 78 overall. Forwards, defensemen are fine, but we don't want goaltenders because we don't want to overload on goaltenders like we have been doing in previous episodes. So instead, I'll change that to pending UFAs of any age. Before we jump to the sim here, let's have a look at our lines. So first one is Justin Williams, Anze Kopitar, and Marian Gaborik. Second line, Dustin Brown, Jeff Carter, Tyler Toffoli. Again, not bad. Dwight King, Jared Stoll, and Kyle Clifford on the third. Jordan Nolan, Mike Richards, and Tanner Pearson on the fourth line. So the depth on this team, at forward at least, is looking pretty solid. And same on defense, you got Andre Sekera and Drew Doughty. You got an elite centerman, an elite defenseman, who's surrounded by other fairly good defensemen as well. And then you've got the overtime game-winning goal scorer for the Stanley Cup in the 13-14 season, Alec Martinez with Slava Voinov. Let's hope he doesn't hurt our team like he hurt his wife. Matt Green and Jake Muzzin, who's 82, so hopefully he's got room to grow. And like I said, we've got that elite center in Kopitar, that elite defenseman Drew Doughty, and we've got our elite goalie Jonathan Quick. So backed up by none other than Martin Jones, who goes on to do great things in San Jose. I mean, I've absolutely got no complaints about this team whatsoever. We've got all the pieces that we need, I think, to make another playoff run. I'm sure everybody was just as shocked as I am that they didn't make the playoffs in the season. So let's turn things around and rewrite history. Drop a like if you think I can. Let's get into it here. So as always, let's go through the first 2 months, see what kind of trades roll in. Let's kind of feel out our team here, and let's already make some trades. Holy crap! San Jose is giving us Joe Thornton in exchange for Tyler Toffoli and Dwight King. Hell yes, I'll take that. Holy crap, look at these trades already. We are getting Danny Briere in exchange for Trevor Lewis, so I'm pretty sure that is an upgrade in terms of stats as well. Let's take it, man. We hadn't even gotten to our first game yet, and already we had 2 pretty decent trades. All right, so now we're giving up Marchment, who I assume is a prospect, and a 3rd round pick in exchange for Brian Giunta of the Buffalo Sabres. Man, this is going to be a long episode at this rate. It's always the Kings hat. Speaking of which, this is kind of the only piece of LA Kings merch that I own, but it'll have to wait because we got a trade. LA Kings send a 2nd round pick in Jamie McBain to Colorado in exchange for Jan Heda. So, I mean, don't really know what to say about this one. D for D, we'll take it. I cannot believe the amount of trades. I think that pending UFA thing is just blowing things way out of proportion here. We're giving up a 2nd round pick, Jordan Nolan and Jordan Wheel, to the Florida Panthers in exchange for Brian Campbell, who's making $7 million. And Ed Jovanovski, who's on the verge of retirement. This should help shore up our D-core, but I think our forward core is starting to whittle down a little bit. Mike Richards is going to Dallas. Actually, it's good. That's one good thing for the future of the LA Kings. Richards struggles mightily after this season in real life, doesn't really recover his career. You're going to hear this phrase a lot. Another trade. New York Islanders are giving us Lubomir Wisnowski, great first name, Lubomir, in exchange for Auger and Misella, 2 young prospects. So we'll take it. We'll always take roster players over prospects. Also notice the downside of going back in time to a certain degree. The simulation times in the GM mode are absolutely atrocious. NHL 15 especially is extremely slow compared to the other ones that I've used lately. Another trade with kind of older veterans here. Kyle Clifford straight up for Andrew Finch. We're getting a lot of defensemen coming in. I feel like our forward core is not looking too good at this point. I'm excited to see after this month where our team is headed. For the time being, yeah, we got to take it. Alec Martinez last season scores in overtime the game-winning, Stanley Cup-winning goal, and then we trade him away. And we're trading away our captain to Colorado once again in exchange for Alex Tanguay, who we also saw get traded in last episode. If you haven't watched it, click the I button above. This is a ridiculous amount of trades we're seeing. Andre Sekera is now getting traded with, again, their rival San Jose Sharks, and we're taking on Patty Marleau. So I think Marleau and Thornton have had enough. They've abandoned ship in San Jose a couple years earlier than Marleau actually did in real life, and they're joining their divisional rivals, the LA Kings, to try and win a cup there. They said, oh, they won a cup last year. Let's see if we can make things happen here with Marleau and Thornton on the LA Kings. That's a weird look. Matt Green and Amadio. See you later, Sean Horkoff. Welcome to the team. Those are probably the longest first 2 months that I've ever seen in this series. We are sitting in 5th in the division with a below 500 record. We're worse than Vancouver. We're worse than Arizona. So that kind of tells you how our season's going. But we're better than San Jose. I guess they're in full tank mode, trading away Marleau and Thornton like that. Our assistant coach with some interesting choices here. We got Marleau, Kopitar, Gabrick, so no complaints there. We got Thornton on the wing. I think we got to move him. There we go. Okay, that looks a little bit better. I'm sure he'll screw things up, but we'll leave it for now. Tanguay, Carter, and Williams. Decent second line. Pearson, Thornton. Great center depth there with Stoll on the third, and Gianta, Horkoff, and Briere. And old, geez, average age 36 on that fourth line. Our D is actually looking okay. I mean, we lost Sekera, but now it's Voinov and Doughty, Jan Heda, and Brian Campbell, Ferentz, and Derek Morris. So our D just got so much older, dude. And I'm certain that Jonathan Quick's holding strong in there with Martin Jones backing him up. Hopefully, we don't lose either of these two. Things are slowly starting to turn around here. Wins against Anaheim, Calgary, and San Jose. And we're back somewhat comfortably above 500. Ending off January on a 7-game win streak. That is what I like to see. This Kings team is finally turning their season around. We've jumped up all the way to 2nd place in our division. That is good for a playoff spot. Here's a trade. Jake Muzzin. This is one where we take a big L. New Jersey is taking Jake Muzzin, who's actually not playing in our team right now, in exchange for Michael Ryder and Scott Clemenson. Jesus, we got fleeced. A lot of pieces moving here in this one. Oilers are giving up Derek Roy and Randy Bachman. We're still getting NHL goalies. We just got Clemenson, now we're getting Bachman in exchange for 2nd round pick Braden McNabb and Ebert. Whatever. Yikes. Yucky trade. Don't care. We'll take it. So we ended February on a 7-game win streak. Oh my god. RIP! Brad Hunt in exchange for Adrian Kempe. I'm sorry, Kings fans, but I have to. So like I was saying, we took on those extra goalies, Clemenson and Randy Bachman. We're giving up Martin Jones to New Jersey. New Jersey's making some awesome trades. We're giving away Martin Jones and Andy Andrioff in exchange for Dustin Penn and Bryce Salvador. Yikes. But who cares? We're on like a friggin' 10-game win streak. All right, almost through the trade deadline. Probably the last trade of the episode, and there's been so many. We're getting Yoansu and Miller for Lintuniemi and Nick Shore. So again, not a blockbuster by any means, but we gotta take it. Roach and Mersch for Wilson, Gervais. Okay, nobody cares. That's probably the last one. There we go. Okay, wow. And Edmonton breaks our point streak at like what was it, 17 games, 18 games? Holy. We're at the top of our division. There's like 6 games left or something. We're sitting pretty, and we're definitely making the playoffs now. I'll give you guys one last look at the roster, the lines, before we finish off the season, head into the playoffs. We got Marlowe, Kopitar, and Gaborik, Williams, Carter, and Thornton. Okay, so maybe things are working with Thornton now on the wing. I don't know, maybe the assistant coach knows something that I don't, but we're going to leave it like that. Tanguay, Stoll, Penner, Ryder, Roy, and Giunta. Then, you know, same D, you know, young and old. And our goalies, we've got Johnny Quick and Randy Bachman. So, you know, a downgrade definitely in our backups, but if Johnny Quick's going to ride out most of the games, then I don't care. So with only about 6 games left in the season, let's get through them, and then let's see who we're matched up with in the Stanley Cup playoffs. It's always good to end off the season on a win. Now let's see who we're going up against in the playoffs. It looks like it's the Dallas Stars. Before we get into all that, let's look at how the season went down. The goal at the beginning of the episode, like I said, was to at least make the playoffs and rewrite history in the LA Kings' favor. We did just that, and by a lot actually. In the 2014-15 season, they finished off with 95 points, 2 points out of a playoff spot. Vancouver with 83 points made the playoffs. So even if we had the same or slightly worse season than we did in real life last year, we still would have made the playoffs, but we crushed it anyways. Our record was 40, 27, and 15 in real life last season. We got 48 wins, 22 losses, and 12 overtime losses. That was good for first in the Pacific Division and second overall in the conference, only 2 points behind Chicago Blackhawks. And in the East, the proverbial cup contenders, I guess, the Penguins are killing things a little bit earlier than scheduled compared to real life. 119 points, almost 60 wins on the season. That's miles better. Toronto, what? 103 points? Where did that come from? Philly had a great year. Carolina, so a few surprises here actually. Kopitar finished 25 goals, 54 assists, good for 79 points, almost, but just shy of a point per game here. In real life, he actually finished with 64 points. That's a great improvement, 15 in fact. Jeff Carter was 72 in this game. He finished with 62, so, you know, the players actually stepped up. Gaborik had 61 in this game. He had 47 in real life, so man, all our players almost had great years. Doughty with 57 points. He finished the season with 46, so yeah, I mean, can't complain, all around a solid improvement from real life. So Quick played 62 games, and he won 38 of them, whereas he played 72 in the real season, and he won 36 of them. So he played 10 less games in this sim, but he got 2 more wins. His goals against was 2.2 in this game. His goals against in real life was 2.2 as well, and his save percentage was the exact same as well, 918. So Quick mirroring real life, but being more efficient, I guess you could say. Kane led the league with 105 points, almost 50 goals. Crosby just behind him, 2 points in fact. Tavares with 99 points and 52 goals. Woo! Woo! Can't wait for that to happen with the Leafs. Perry with 93, so he's not washed just yet. Zetterberg 90 as well, so some great seasons by some older players. Malkin, Hossa with 88, Datsuk with 85, PK with 70, Keith with 66, Carlson 65, Suter, okay, had a great year. Jack Johnson, but the Penguins are wishing he puts up those numbers on that 5-year deal starting next season with potential lineman Chris Letang. And goalie wins, Elliott and Quick top the league with 38 each. Goals against, I mean, Neuwirth had great numbers, Anderson, Rene, but Quick, I mean, 62 games, miles above the next closest guy. Miller also had great numbers, and save percentage, Lehner as well. So I mean, Freddie could definitely take the Vezina here. I think it might be Freddie. And last thing we need to do before we jump to the sim is look at the playoff tree. We're sitting here at the bottom against Dallas. There's Anaheim versus Arizona. That's a unique series. Chicago versus Vancouver. Ooh, another rivalry matchup there. Minnesota versus St. Louis, another rivalry. So the West is looking all right. Philadelphia, Carolina, meh. Pittsburgh, New York, that's pretty good. Montreal, Detroit, original 6 matchup, can't complain about that. And Toronto versus Washington, seeing that matchup happen a little bit earlier than it did in real life. I'm very happy with this team, very happy with how they performed, but the season's done, it's a wash, it doesn't matter anymore. All that matters is our playoff performance. So we've already improved on our real life performance. Let's see if we can win the cup. I was trying to find something clever to say, but it didn't happen. All right, let's go. Not a good start. Definitely not a good start. All right, kind of a recovery here. Come on, LA. Pull it off, tie it up. Let's go. Back-to-back 5-2 wins after taking a 5-2 loss. Let's go through these. Let's go one at a time now. Come on. Looks like home ice advantage is not really working in this one. We lost both at home, then we won both away. Now we're back at home. We lose, we're away. Gotta take it. Come on, we're on the brink here. Let's not go out like this after such a great season. Unreal, dude. After such a rough start to the season, we make some blockbuster trades with rivalry teams in the same conference. We turn our team around just for this year, and we make the playoffs, win the division, and then we go on and do that. Lose to the Dallas Stars in 6 games. Only thing we can do is see who will win the Stanley Cup. Could be Chicago. They made the playoffs, they won the conference, and they could actually make it happen true to life and win the cup like they did in real life in the 14-15 season. Oh, there it is! What a finish to the season. The Washington Capitals get their first Stanley Cup in franchise history. Let's see how they did it, shall we? So, Vancouver actually bounced Chicago in the first round. They made it all the way to Stanley Cup Finals with 3 7-game series. They almost played the maximum number of games you could play in a playoffs. They lost to the Washington Capitals in 7 games, who Washington themselves beat Toronto in 6, then Detroit in 6, then the Islanders, who made it all the way to conference finals. They lost in the conference finals to Washington, who eventually went on to win the cup. So a great season overall. Obviously, we know that the Stanley Cup champs are the Washington Capitals. The LA Kings weren't able to make themselves a modern-day dynasty, winning 3 cups in 4 seasons. They'll have to stick to 2 cups in 3. Art Ross goes to Patty Kane. The Hart goes to Crosby, though. Okay, interesting. The Norris goes to Keith, who ends up winning back-to-back Norrises. All right, good to see from him. The Bing goes to Patty Kane, so he had that great season along with a sportsmanlike season as well. Calder goes to Philip Forsberg. All right. Conn Smythe goes to Braden Holtby, who, again, carries the Caps to the Stanley Cup playoffs. The Vezina goes to Ryan Miller. Okay, it's good to see him winning a trophy like that at the tail end of his career. Jennings goes to Fleury. Masterton goes to Nikita Nikitin. Selke goes to Datsuk. Lindsay goes to Crosby, and the Richard Trophy goes to Tavares. All right, so a lot of differentiation in those scoring trophies and MVP trophies this year, as opposed to the Tarasenko sweep. But all in all, it was a very great series, a successful one, because we improved upon real life. We rewrote history. The Kings, at least, were not as big of a disappointment as they were in real life. After winning the Stanley Cup last year, they ended up now making the playoffs and rewriting history. That about does it for this episode, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Drop a like on the video if you've enjoyed it, and be sure now to head over to the community tab and vote on which team you want to see next. Remember that it'll be within the context of the 2013-2014 season, and I'll be doing the sim in NHL 14. Subscribe to the channel if you want to see more of these videos, and without further ado, until next one, guys, I'll see you then.